Mental Health Day, an annual event that first started in 1992. And Ant Nayak is from the charity Mental Health UK and says awareness is good, but we also need action.
Awareness is only getting us sort of as far as we'd like to be, but I guess the other important thing is sort of action. We do a lot of work, particularly for Mental Health UK, which is about kind of creating mentally healthy workplaces.
And England sailed to a comfortable victory against Andorra last night with a 5-0 win to move them a step closer to World Cup qualification. That's the latest from Radio News Hub. I'm Adam Fawcett.
Were you advised to make changes to your pension? If you transferred out of a work pension into something else like a SIP, then you could be entitled to thousands of pounds in compensation. Even if you can't find the paperwork or the company no longer exists, here at Keller Lankner UK, we could still help. Text RETIRE to 66777 and Keller Lankner UK will make an assessment to discover how much you could be owed. It's got to be worth finding out. Text RETIRE to 66777 now.
Well, a cloudy start for the UK, but that should clear throughout the morning. We will see some showers in Scotland. Otherwise, it will be largely dry and warm with highs of 15 degrees.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Spice FM 98.8 FM.
We buy cars for more.com. Do-da. We buy cars for more.com. That is what we do.
And guess what? We'll beat any quote for your car or van. Guaranteed. Enter your reg at WeBuyCarsForMore.com and we'll arrange a viewing at a time and place that suits you. All within 24 hours. And we'll even automatically transfer the payment to your account.
WeBuyCarsForMore.com. That is what we do.
I kinda like you.
Want to grow your business? Spice FM are here to help. Let us promote your brand, product, service or business on air, online, on web. We can reach an audience that no other local radio can reach. Broadcasting on 98.8 FM and nationally and globally online. For more information, visit us now, spicefm.co.uk.
Spice FM. Spice FM. Sick of the same old radio sound? Then you need vibrant radio. Spice up your life. Spice FM 98.8 FM.
Good morning, listeners. Hey,
Good morning, Ammar.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Hey, how are we doing?
Yes, very well.
Good to see you. To see you.
Good.
Good.
Colonel.
Very well, Captain. Someone was calling me Captain, and I was like, oh, I'm sure I keep getting demoted. Actually, it was you. But
I didn't, man. I would never call you Captain, man. I would never, ever have the audacity to call you something lower than what you are.
Oh, that's good. That's very kind. Very kind. No, it was good. Great event. Thank you for coming along and supporting it, Brother Jalf. We also have Sister Shireen on the call with us this morning, hiding somewhere. Excellent. Hiding somewhere, I think. Are you hiding somewhere?
Good morning. I am hiding in one of your lovely offices. Yes.
Don't tell
what a brilliant evening! What a brilliant evening! It was. I'm probably still on this really high from last night. It was great to meet wonderful people.
Sure. Are you still in Newcastle, sorry, or have you made the journey back to the big smoke?
No, I'm traveling in the next 2 hours. So I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still taking in the clean air, the nice atmosphere.
Well, enjoy it whilst you have it.
Absolutely. It's a bit cold though, I must admit. I've got my scarf and gloves out.
I think you've lost a bit of that hard edge that you may have had 20 years ago.
Yeah, I know. It could be old age. I don't know. It could be a combination. Yeah.
That Geordie feeling is obviously of being fearless of the weather.
Fearless of anything and everything.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Sister Shireen sat next door in my boardroom here, Jalf, because it was wonderful to have Sister Shireen, and I thought it was too good of an opportunity to sort of say, come along and see where we're at and jump onto this show for a little bit as well. So delighted that Sister Shireen's here, Jack.
No, it's excellent. I think out of all the speeches, I think from the comments that I've been getting from my peers, I think that was definitely one of the most inspirational ones. I think you're a great public speaker, and the points came across so simply and so well. So it was really, really nice, and we had the privilege to be sat on the table with Sister Serene and Sir John, and it was a really, really amazing evening.
It was good. So people haven't got a clue what we're talking about, by the way. So we need to just share with our wonderful listeners and our viewers online what we're making reference to. And obviously, what we're talking about is the Asian Business Connections dinner, annual awards ceremony, which took place yesterday evening at the Grand Gosforth Hotel. And Sister Shireen Qureshi was a keynote headline speaker. So wonderful that you were, and you've traveled all the way up on this terrible journey from the deepest, darkest south. Is that right?
I agree with you. But I must admit that it was a real privilege, to see the 12th annual, the anniversary, the celebration, especially after 19 months of pandemic, and to bring everyone from all parts of the Northeast, not just Northeast. There was people that I'd spoken to from Yorkshire, the greater areas of North. And to bring them together in one gathering was phenomenal. It really was. Yesterday, my takeaways were everybody's in. It's an inclusive environment, and it brings me great joy that the city I was born and bred and raised and educated, I could see, the vision of the future. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg. What we will be conquering in the future will be even greater and bigger. And I would love to see more of our businesses, believing in this vision and supporting this grand event. I would love to see a lot more our young high growth entrepreneurs, university attendees. It's what you pick up on the wisdom and the knowledge and the people in just a few hours. It's a money can't buy experience. So I
think it's wonderful. So just talk us a little bit about, introduce who you are, because lots of people still incredibly won't know who you are, Sister Shireen, and certainly because they can't see you either, but they can certainly hear you. So say who you are, what you do, why you do it, and just share with us a little bit about you.
Okay, so your sister Shireen was born and bred in Newcastle, lived all her life in Fenham, part of heart, right, left, and center of the community. My education and everything took place here. What does Shireen do now? I'm the director of Barclays. I head up digital optimization for wealth management. That's probably too mouthy for a first thing on a Friday morning. And I've been in my institution for 22 years now. And one of the first Muslim female Jodi hijabis to reach that pinnacle. My aim and goals at this present moment, I'm setting up a sports conference on the 15th of November, which takes place at the Grosvenor Park Hotel. And Brother Ammar, you're there as my MC. And obviously, we'll make you headliner in the south of London. But my greatest passion is a combination of supporting people, raising awareness, because that is key, in terms of not just culture and religion and how we lived our lives. It's actually showcasing how we are all one and equal. And I think going forward, there's a lot more on Shireen's bucket list. But I guess it's a Friday morning, so I'll stop there. But I'm really proud to be, I come from, working class family. For someone who was just in a small bubble in the Northeast, has, taken her wings, the angel of the North wings, across the South, but not just across the South now. I'm taking it globally. I think, my proudest moment is not only being Asian, Muslim, but also defined, a great Geordie, I would say.
I think it's wonderful. I think it's great.
I'm excited, Brother Ammar. I'm really excited because I think the opportunities we have today through our adversities, we've never had that before. I wish when I was growing up, there were ABC awards. I wish there were recognitions 2 decades ago. Our parents didn't get the recognition. They were the true entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship comes from them. They worked damn hard to get us, the best in life. And I see that all around me. And that showcased yesterday with all the achievements and the awards that you give out. It was a truly remarkable moment for me. And that's a massive, massive takeaway. I can't, I'm excited to go back and share it with Barclays, share it with, friends and other associates down south, that the Northeast is now, they're becoming headliners. They're not chasing. Obviously, we know that these events, there's Curry Awards, there's all different types of awards out there. But the ABC Awards had a uniqueness in it. And I think the uniqueness was that you've actually, recognized local talent, entrepreneurship, professionalism from all different categories. And that's just amazing.
I think we've got so much to be proud of, and all too often it's lots of, from an Asian point of view, we typically are, we always look more outwardly, so we're always seeking appreciation or recognition from the broader, wider community. And actually, what Jalf and I have created is an opportunity for our peers and our community to recognize each other, and having individuals from across the public, private and third sector that are Asian, and they are making a significant and sustained contribution to the whole economy and society, I think is wonderful. So it's, and there's, for me, the other thing that the awards have always done is created such a very positive vibe and atmosphere. And we get people attending from ministers to, sort of sirs and wonderful people, like yourself and Jalf, who are really trailblazing. I mean, I'm sure that one of the things that Jalf would be delighted to do whenever you have time is showcase and share his restaurant, his award-winning restaurant, which is probably the best Indian restaurant in the world. And whilst, people may think that is a slightly exaggerated claim, for me, I genuinely believe it. Jalf, tell us all about your restaurant experience.
I mean, look, I don't want to say too much because we've said it so much before, but just for Shireen coming from London. So what we did, Shireen, a couple of years ago, I had the opportunity to open a new restaurant, and we've already got restaurants in the city and have had since 1969. So we created this street food concept in 2008, and it was the very first in the country. But 2 years ago, though, I wanted to do something a bit different. And just looking into restaurants, that journey of wanting to find a chef who's not within our existing group, so they can think a bit holistically and laterally, as opposed to just offering the same menu that works currently. So that journey took me to one of the world's best Indian chefs. There's about 7 or 8 Michelin star Indian chefs in the world, and Alfred Prasad is the chef that we are working with really, really closely. He got his Michelin. If you go to I'm sure being a director of Barclays, you're going to be wined and dined on all of these top Mayfair establishments. So Tamarind in Mayfair is where Alfred got his Michelin at the age of 29. I'm assuming you would have heard of that, right?
I have. And you've just surprised me by saying that. I wasn't expecting you to say Michelin, and having one of your top chefs coming from.
I think the thing is, when we approached Alfred, so give you a bit of insight into Alfred. Gordon Ramsay said if you could pick his all-star kitchen team, and he named 6 chefs, and Alfred was one of them. So when we approached Alfred, we had to kind of say to him, well, hey Alfred, I know that you have restaurants in Delhi, in the Oberoi Hotel. He's got, obviously, in London. He's got another project in Doha. He's involved with Glen Eagles. He's involved with Lord's Cricket Ground. He does the food for the World Economic Forum in Davos every year. They fly him out to Davos. So then I'm saying to him, oh, hold on though, but Newcastle is ready for some serious premium Indian cuisine. And I said, have you been to Newcastle before? He said, oh, actually, no, I haven't. So there was a lot of hesitation at the start, because for him to put his name to a restaurant that is it going to work? Is the city ready for cuisine of that level? And there were so many factors and elements that he had to consider. Eventually, he actually came along, had a look at the venue, had a look at our concepts, and he got seriously involved. So I think for us, there's a couple of things that makes me really happy. Number one is, for us being in the restaurant game for such a long time, we felt that Newcastle as a city was ready for elevated cuisine. And that was the first step. And number two, it's really a matter of just obviously being able to make it all happen, and being able to attract these chefs and attract kind of some serious top award-winning interior designers and A, B, C, and D. And you had the complication of COVID and the pandemic. So we opened this restaurant as a takeaway on the 4th of December. And since then, I mean, at the moment, it's just been so incredibly busy. The fact that it's been embraced by everybody in the city and those coming into the city is really, really fulfilling. So in a nutshell, that's where we are currently. I think Alfred Prasad himself said that he feels strongly that this is one of the best Indian restaurants outside of London for sure, and it will give them it'll give anyone in London a good run for their money as well. So when you have more time, next time you visit, you can maybe come and make your own judgments when you get an opportunity.
Thank you so much, Jeff. I must say I'm super impressed, and many congratulations, because I think Newcastle truly deserves it. But your dedication, and the hard work over the years is definitely issue.
Yeah, but it's not even that. I think for us as a city, I think we're just really proud that as a city, Ammar, we love our city. And some people say to me, oh, well, do one of these in Manchester, do one of these in Edinburgh. And I'm thinking, well, no, why? If I invested in Manchester, this restaurant never would have opened, because you would have pulled the investment in the pandemic. But because it was my city, there was no way we were going to pull any investments, because it's not about the investment. It's about bringing something to the city that the city could really benefit from. And to see that in fruition, it's a really proud moment. And unfortunately, like Ammar and myself and other peers, we have that mentality, and it's appreciated by people kind of within our circles, and it is appreciated by the public. I just feel that the city council and the city themselves haven't really shown as much love as what they should, because we have got the right mentality towards business, because it's not just about the money, it's about bringing something unique and different to our city and making it a far better city, certainly in the culinary field. So we think on those lines, but not everyone kind of does, which can be a bit frustrating and sad at certain moments, but we just continue our journey and do what we are going to do individually, and not relying on others to come and give us a helping hand and this, that, and the other. And I think there's too many operators that think, oh, well, hold on, I need support, I need this, I need that. Because at the end of the day, do it yourself, because it's the safest and the best way to do it. Because that support may not come, the support may get pulled and A, B, C, and D. So if you can do it all on your own accord, then hey, you know, it's certainly the best way.
Yet again, I'm going to use the three phrases that Brother Ammar said yesterday, and it springs to mind: passion, pride, and positivity. You know, that's what I can hear from you, Jeff. And I think it's your passion. You're proud of Newcastle, and you've got the positivity. When you have that formula, that's a winning formula. And the rich heritage of Newcastle, the only way from here is going upwards. You know, I've always said to myself, the only competition I have is me. You know, be the better version of myself and serve a greater purpose. You know, I look back at centuries, you know, when I look back at sort of time, my granddad came here when he was 19. It was a different place then. He calls it the new Newcastle. It was only fish and chips, you know, so it's, we've come a long way in many, many decades. And, you know, I think going forward, all I can say is positivity and the pride. So, you know, a massive, massive well done, massive. I'm going to use a Geordie phrase, I'm chuffed on a Friday morning.
Yeah. Great. I'll use one, canny bag of Tudor. Can you remember that? Can anyone remember that?
Can you repeat that again for me?
Canny bag of Tudor, was that not, actually it was, wasn't it? Tudor crisp, right, Ammar?
Was Tudor crisps. They got replaced by Walkers, but Tudor crisps were, some of the adverts were really, really localized, passionate adverts, and contained, so one of them was, I'll do anything for a bag of Tudor, like, and there's a particularly tall building in Dunstan, don't know if it's still there, but it was called the Rocket, and the boy had to climb to the top of the rocket, and he'd done that for a packet of crisps. But yeah, can you remember the bottles of pop that we used to get dropped off? Sister Shireen, did you not get them? Because I know Mum did, and there was a pineapple one, and it was like fizzy pop. Can you remember that?
I do, yeah. It's, gosh, you know, those are the days, weren't they? The golden era. I remember the bottles that you would return as well, and you would get 5p for returning a, you know, we're talking about sustainability, but you get your pop in a glass bottle, and then when you return it, you get 5p.
Which is, you know, we sort of dumped sustainability, didn't we? To then replace it with cheap and efficient is what we done. And I think we probably need to go back to that level of sustainability, where there were glass bottles, and dare I say, you know, it was, I'll tell you what was funny. So the hospital, the general hospital, used to just bin these bottles.
Gosh.
Yeah. And as kids, you knew where the bins were, and they were on the other side, they were slightly locked away. So you'd go and rifle for, I mean, obviously I didn't do anything like that, but you'd go and rifle for these bottles because they were getting binned, and you'd go and get, I'm sure it was 10 pence at the time, or prior to that, it was in Jaff's day, it might have been shillings. Can you remember shillings, Jaff?
I'm not that old one, am I? Shillings. I remember talk about shillings, but I don't think we ever saw shillings because it was, what was a shilling? Was it, I remember the half a pence. And I remember
there was half a pence. There was half a pence. But can you remember?
Half a pence and there was a pence.
What was it? What was a shilling? Have a guess.
Shilling. Was that not a £5, no? £5 coin, no?
Quite close, but just a couple of decimals out. So 1 shilling. Sister Shireen, obviously I've given it away now. What was it?
You've got me thinking as well, because I'm not from the era of shilling. Yeah, I'm not era. All I remember is the transformation of the £1 and the 10p that was quite big when it was reduced, and then the change of the 5p, if you remember.
Yeah, the 5p was a big 5p.
Yeah, the big 5p and the big 10p. That. I mean, I still have maybe a few just as memorabilia, but unfortunately I'm not from the shillings era.
Well, neither am I. But there were. It was 5 pence is what a shilling was.
5, yeah. It was. Even,
so where did the name come from then? Shilling.
Well, it's a historic name, isn't it? It was as I understand it, what they call decimal currency, and I think it actually might have come about. When did we stop using shillings? I didn't really. All right, it was a few years before me. So decimalization happened on the 15th of February 1971. The coin had a value of 5 new pence, which was minted with the same size as the shilling until 1990, after which the shilling no longer remained legal tender. It was from silver from its introduction in or around 1503 until 1946, and thereafter in nickel is what it was. So anyway, there you go. Bit of a history lesson. Right, anyway, let's get back to the awards. There's a number of people that we need to go through. One of the things that clearly, in awards and having been there on a very rare occasion of not winning an award, and you're almost expecting it. It's an interesting feeling, is what it is. However, in awards, if you didn't have winners or people who won a particular category, it would be pointless having the awards. And I purposefully don't get involved in any of the judging, only because people then hopefully can't sort of go, well, Ammar, I'm your friend. I should have won that award. Other than obviously the special award that Jalf and I wanted to give to Alan Curry for his work and support, especially to ABC. Jalf?
Of course, and that is the thing. Whilst it's not everyone that have been shortlisted, they're all winners, and it's a hard thing to fathom that. Yes, look, I'm shortlisted. I'm in a special category and I'm a winner. But then when you don't win it, you have that natural kind of feeling of disappointment. That and then the mind does turn. But it's one of those things, especially at that moment. And I've been there before when you don't win, and then you feel a bit negative about the whole thing, about yourself. But that's the whole thing. That experience is also important to keep you going and to use it to get better, and then come back next year and A, B, C, and D, because that's just part of life. So I do recall people coming up to Ammar yesterday say, hey, I didn't win the award, but like Ammar said, there is a panel, there is a judging panel for that reason. So it's completely done kind of by the judges externally so that they can make those decisions and they can choose who wins and who doesn't win. And obviously Alan Curry has been with ABC from the offset, and he deserves an award that he got yesterday, because he has been with ABC thick and thin for over a decade now. So it was richly deserved.
No, thank you, and you're absolutely right. I mean, interestingly, I did get a couple of calls earlier on in the week going, right, Ammar, well, you know, this person needs to win and that person needs to, and I was like, listen, I seriously and genuinely, like, we do these awards properly, and it was such a shame that someone felt, you know, that phone call or whatever it was, and that reaching out, and I don't think they were obviously it wasn't as blatant as this person needs to win. It's like, all right, we think this person should win. You know, they've done a lot, and it's nice to get people supporting nominations. But over 100 finalists, you know, were put forward, and as you say, Jalf, an incredible array of people. And just to talk through, you know, it was lovely that we've got a few awards like the Dr. Naz Khan Award and Sahil Khan, sort of representing the Khan family. They've created this award in memory of the late father, who was an incredible individual and had done so much. And Sister Shireen, you may not remember or be aware of, but there was this long-term motor company called Jennings Ford, which was, they had on Scotswood Road and Teesside and various other places. And Naz Khan, the late Naz Khan, done a management buyout, and you know, sort of was one of the first, certainly Pakistanis and Asians in the corporate world to do something like that and take that forward. So it was beautiful to have him and in his memory, sort of have the Dr. Naz Khan Award, and the recipient this year was Ved Vinayak, who you know, was part of the Tyne and Wear Racial Equality Council, and he sadly passed away in May this year with a wonderful innings of being 93. So great innings, you know, is the thing. So yeah, he worked closely with Northumbria Police and Rotary Club, and leaves behind an incredible body of work, which has impacted on industry and community. And so there is no better recipient for this year's very special Dr. Naz Khan Award than him. So that was nice. And then the finalists, just looking at the finalists, and gosh, there was such a range of them. There was so certainly, you know, we can highlight that in the business category, we had Shahi Foods, we had Shab Mehdi, we had Raj Siegel, we had Aaron and Arvin Handa, we had Michael Ladar, we had Raj Singh, and the winner in that award was Imran Khalik. You know, because they've done an incredible job. The judges, you know, recognized that all of the others have done great in their respective businesses. And, you know, certainly I know that Aaron and Arvin Handa are one of the most affluent Asian families here. And they own, you know, they actually own Indigo London and place hotels like that. The Ken Group is what they do. So they're significant. But as I understand it, and the message from the judges was, it wasn't just about how much money have you made, it was what else have you done as an Asian business person. And Gainford Group, they've heavily involved and supported the armed forces. They've got a charitable, they donate to charity, and they've supported so many local people, and they've continued to grow and prosper, and focus on job creation, locally, is what they've done. So Imran Khalid was a deserved winner.
Yeah, and I think the final point that you made, it's probably the fact that they're doing a lot more things in the city. Maybe that might have had its say within the judges' minds as well.
Yeah, so let's just read out. Imran joined Gainford Group head office in 2008, and at the age of 21, shortly after graduating from Northumbria University with a degree in business management. Since joining Gainford, Imran has broadened the company's horizons, and they now own multiple award-winning hotels, restaurants, bars, nightclubs, taking Gainford's employment to over 2,500 local people. So you're right, Jack. I think that was wonderful. The next award was, I believe, independent, and then once again there was an incredible number of finalists shortlisted from the 100 or so nominations, and in that award category there was Kamran Ali, Zarin Sharif, Abu Sharma, and Kamal Hussain. We had Tariq Mohammed, we had Shweta Sharma, we had Ranjit Kanda, and we had Sanji Ratna Ungul. And the winner there was Shweta Sharma. Have you come across Shweta?
Just yesterday, Ammar.
Right. Sorry, I'm just looking for her biog here. That's why I'm not staring intently at the screen. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Let's just say a few words of Shweta. So, founder of Damira's Collections, started pursuing her passion for jewelry and clothing in early 2020 when the pandemic struck, bringing challenges to our everyday lives. Damira's Collections have since grown an incredible audience and delivered positivity to people's lives at a time when many were struggling to cope with uncertainty, fear, and anxiety. Because obviously we all want to get dressed up and put jewelry on.
Of course.
But we do. It's good. It's important.
That's a symbolism of the Northeast,
It makes you feel good.
Because everyone dresses up, It's and I'm not sure what kind of if she does menswear. Surely for the women, that's a massive tick for everyone. Everyone likes to dress up in the Northeast.
Do they not dress up down south? What happens down there?
I think we're accustomed to black corporate wear. I mean, no, I'm just saying it from my point of view. But I think it's come to an era where there isn't much. Everyone wears anything. I remember that there were certain fashion trends that I grew up with. I remember wearing Dr. Martens and things like that. But talking about fashion,
did you wear Dr. Martens?
I did. Yeah. I'm just I'm sharing a bit about me now. But yeah, there were trends. And when it came to Asian wear, and I must say this, okay, my designer was late auntie. This is your mum, Brother Ammar. So I would go to the shop. There was you go to the shops, you buy the material, the new textile that's out there, and then you would there were things that you would pick up from magazines, or you would, from that we only had one channel back then, ZTV, and you would say, I want to wear the outfit that's like this, or stuff that's come from Pakistan, and your mum would make exact replica of that shalwar kameez.
Oh, she was incredible. She was an incredible
person.
She was so creative and worked tirelessly on a sewing machine to bring us up. So our homes were filled with various colours and cloth, and the stitching on the bottom of the shalwar was amazing, with different designs. And I remember going to the Singer sewing shop at Eldon Square, and it used to be where the gate is. Jeff, can you remember that? Can you remember there used to be like sort of almost a series of smaller shops, and there was like a food court.
I remember the food court, the Monument Food Court, the Monument Mall.
No, there used to be one opposite the gate.
Yeah, there used to be one there. I remember that one clearly.
Yeah,
I remember that as well. I remember that.
Yeah, it wasn't very nice.
Well, it was when it was built. It was like novel, wasn't it? And being Asians, you never got to go them type of places. So it was. I think there was just like it was quite open. I'm sure of it, and it was on different levels and things like that. And it was a peculiar place. Anyway, so that was Shweta Sharma, and well done. The next award was the Professional Award, and within that was Wajid Ayaz, Dr. Syed Ahmed, Andrew Misra, Vasant Oswal, and then we had Ponchi Khan Niaz and Aman Siegel, and Aman and Ponchi were the winners. So let's just share a little bit about them. So Aman is a restructuring and insolvency lawyer at Keystone Law, with more than 15 years experience working on high-profile corporate and personal insolvency cases that include multi-million-pound bankruptcies and fraud investigations, with expertise that covers dealing with contingency planning, insolvency filing requirements, debt restructuring, financing and reschedulings, acquisitions and sales, credit bidding, formal insolvency proceedings, restructurings, refinance and debt trading. His career has seen him advise an array of insolvency practitioners on various complex public interest litigation cases. Aman has significant experience in acting on behalf of the Insolvency Service in relation to all aspects of directors' disqualification, from investigation through to prosecution and enforcement. Using his expertise and professionalism, Aman proved to be hugely valuable in assisting hundreds of directors in light of the COVID-19 pandemic. So repeat everything that he does now, Jeff.
Say that again, Ammar.
I said repeat everything that I've just said.
That's an incredible CV. That's incredible.
It wasn't a CV. It was a sales pitch, is what it was.
It's amazing.
It was good on him and well done and well deserved. Because actually, look, he's an insolvency lawyer, is what he is. He provides advice, and actually, you know what? He's done particularly well, and he's grown the practice here. He's head of the practice for Keystone. They've become a PLC as a law firm, and it's one of the first ones that's moved that way. And he's a wonderful person. So that award is well deserved. And let's talk a little bit about Ponchi Khan Niaz. I don't think her actual description is broad. So Ponchi is commercial director at Fujifilm Diosynth biotechnologies, collaborating internationally on the clinical and commercial development of life-changing biologics and vaccine innovation.
That's applaudable.
That's wonderful.
That's wonderful, wonderful.
And Ponchi is a presenter on Spice FM and does an incredible job. She gets some amazing people on Spice. And anyway, well done, well deserved. Moving swiftly on the next awards with the Public Sector Awards and Dr. Malasri Home. So Dr. Malasri Home, Mehrbaan Sadiq, Councillor Mohammed Javed, and Sayyida Hassan. And the winners were Dr. Malasri. So let's hear a little bit more about Dr. Malasri. So here she is. And Dr. Malasri is the Race and Equality and Accreditations Advisor at Newcastle University, covering the project management of the university's Race Equality Charter application, as well as linking the Race Equity and Inclusion team with the People's Services. Malasri was part of a faculty ADI team where she delivered on a successful faculty silver level Athena Swan Award, first within the university. Wonderful, wonderful. Anyone breaking down barriers and improving inclusion is clearly a winner in our eyes. Right, next, might be easier if I just went and got the printed version of this rather than trying to squint at the screen. And Mehrbaan Sadiq, let's talk a little bit about him. Founder of International Emergency Team at the United Kingdom, a non-profit voluntary organization which delivers humanitarian services within Asian developing countries. Having worked with the Tyne and Wear Fire and Rescue Service for 14 years, Mehrbaan is passionate about ensuring that the fire service and the community can work together to keep people safe. His major achievements include the introduction of first responder, paramedic, motorbike ambulance service and delivering projects on mental health and well-being in Asian developing countries. He won CLG National Equality and Diversity Award and AFSA Man of the Year 2016 for his work with the International Punjab Emergency Services. So he's doing wonderful things in Pakistan, is what he's doing. I don't think you could have a man award anymore, can you?
I don't think it's PC at the moment.
But it's all right to have a woman's award.
Well, of course it is.
Why is that? Anyway, let's not go down that rabbit hole. Right, moving on swiftly, the Public Service Award, Veena Soni, Road to Recovery Trust, Faria Usman and Doc Anand. And the winners were Faria Usman. And we had Faria on last week, didn't we, Jack?
Yes, we did. And she's such an interesting person.
Yeah, she had such a lovely mannerism about her. It was, you could see the authenticity and the ambition of her work. So she also played the guitar, which I was particularly impressed with, didn't she?
Yeah.
So Faria is a Census Purple plaque holder. Do you know what that means?
Census Person's plaque holder.
It's a Census Purple plaque holder.
Okay. Do you know what? I've never had the privilege of having anything like that onto my name, so I'm quite intrigued to see what it is.
Let's have a quick... Sister Shireen, have you heard of it?
I haven't. Is it some form of award? I haven't heard of that. I'm keen to understand what that is as well. I'm sure the viewers would be keen as well. It's unique. It's because we haven't heard of it.
Apparently, it's called a Purple Plaques Honor Neighborhood Heroes. So there we go. It's a very special award. A multi-award winner, philanthropist and an entrepreneur for good, a global voice of authority on gender equality, diversity and inclusion. She is the founder of Being Women Charity and the mind behind the food sharing app Share Karo, launched to provide an integrated system to distribute food and essentials for people in need. She is the pioneer and first Asian woman in Northumberland to have successfully founded the charity focused on empowering ethnically diverse communities and collaborated with different stakeholders in Northumberland and across the UK and worked towards promoting digital and social inclusion, largely during COVID-19 crisis. What do you think about that?
Amazing.
Okay. And then Ranjana Bell, obviously a wonderful person who has been equally connected to ABC. People, we didn't explain this very well last night, but the judges clearly had such a hard job that they couldn't just simply choose one winner in 2 or 3 categories. And I thought that was great. Rather than simply saying, well, that person is the only winner, we recognized and they recognized that actually a couple of people, they could not judge between them. Ranjana has nearly 40 years of experience in the field of equality and diversity, working within the public and private voluntary sectors. As the chair of the Road to Recovery Trust, Ranjana aims to transform the Northeast from a place with one of the highest rates of alcohol, drug and other addictions to a region with one of the highest rates of abstinence-based recovery. So wonderful. And then the Lifetime Award went to Raj Singh. That was a nice thing, wasn't he? And he was truly delighted.
Yeah, Raj has done a lot over the years, and I think everything that you said about him is exactly how he is. He's very, very inclusive and a diverse person, but the fact that, he's done so much for his community and for his own people, which is also very beautiful, and that again was really, really well deserved.
And then this year we had the North of Tyne Mayor Awards. These were local people who had done sort of at least 30 to 40 years of service to the North East community, and the Veena Soni and Doc Anand, both rightly and justly, and were winners of those awards. And then, as we mentioned at the beginning, our wonderful, amazing Alan Curry, who used to climb those stairs at my offices in Old Eldon Square. Jalf, can you remember
they were on the 67th floor, weren't they?
Yeah, so
67th floor, and there weren't any lifts.
And everyone got a packet of Tudor crisps, though, didn't they? At the top. Was the thing. So they're your award winners. I think it's fantastic, and it was indeed a wonderful event. I need to clearly, publicly, acknowledge the team who've done an amazing job of, making it slightly less stressful than previous years, and they all pulled together. And it made me particularly happy when they equally all came in and said they'd had a good time. So, good on them. And Sister Shireen, thank you so much once again for coming up all the way from London. I know it was a bit of a challenge, and hopefully it was all worthwhile. Just in the last few minutes, talk us through what's happening at the Sports Tech Global Conference.
Thank you, Brother Ammar. I must say that I'm looking forward to sneak peek preview for 2022. I'm sure, the SME Awards of Excellence and ABC will be phenomenal. And I'm looking forward to, I think I missed out on the James Bond theme, because there's no time to die, so I think we definitely need an Asian player in there, and I think you should cast for there. So I'm just throwing that in.
Thank you very much. Have you seen the movie? Jeff, have you seen the movie?
No, I'm waiting for there to be no people in the cinemas before I go. So I'm going in a couple of weeks, I think. Have you seen it?
I've seen it. Have you seen it, Sister Shireen?
I haven't, but I thought there was a James Bond theme yesterday because everyone was in, their suits and bow ties and I think at one point I heard James Bond is in the room. I did. And out comes the regiment in military attire. But I think if there's anyone in Hollywood listening, we're missing out on an Asian, and I'm going to say this publicly, we need to have a James Bond, or in the James Bond cast, an Asian person, and no better person to cast that would be my brother Ammar, because he went through all the waves, over the last couple of years. I love the fact that there were so many categories that you sat in, I think there was some really great highlights at the beginning. Phenomenal.
Well, I don't think that really captured everything, though. You needed a bigger reel.
Yeah, is that what we needed? Anyway, it was interesting to be portrayed in all of those different places and spaces. But no, Amit and Sandeep, they've done a wonderful job, and the food from Mango was good, and it was just great to have so many sort of people come together and celebrate one another. James Bond, you're absolutely right. I'm not going to do a spoiler. It's a great movie. It tries to be slightly politically correct, which I'd be horrified if Wonder Woman, who I idolized and grew up with and thought is one of my all-time heroes, if they changed her into a wonder they or them, and she was no longer allowed to be a woman because it was political correctness.
It's ridiculous, man.
Anyway, let's not go there. Let's not talk about politics, religion, or gender equality.
Absolutely. Going back to, I know that in the next actually a month today, so now you can peacefully rest, Brother Ammar, and I'm on a roller coaster ride until the 15th of November. I'm going to publicly announce that it's Sir Les Ferdinand. Sir came from the Newcastle fans. I am celebrating his legacy, but it's not just about a legacy, it's also empowering tech entrepreneurs in the field of sports technology. So we've got really great cutting edge technology, not just from parts of the UK, but from global. I've got people coming from all parts of the world, Singapore, Dubai, well, showcasing their pieces of tech.
Fantastic.
And we've got great entertainment as well. So there's the itinerary. I wish I could have this conference over 3 or 4 days. Inshallah, in the future, that's something that I'm aiming for. But yet again, when we talk about inclusivity, it brings everyone together, because the one thing that everyone loves is sports. What I've done is put sports and tech together.
Wonderful. We've run out of time. Sorry, I'm cutting you short because it's 11 o'clock and we're going to get cut off. Last words, how does someone find out about Sports Tech Global Conference?
It's on our website. So it's just www.sportstechglobalconference.com.
Spice FM 98.8 FM.
The business secretary says he won't raise or remove the energy price cap in place to protect customers.